So this is lesson 19, elapsed time problems for Saxon 4. The first thing you need to do is you need to be able to read a clock if you're going to do elapsed time problems. So a couple things on a clock you need to remember. Small hand, this is the hour. Okay, big hand is the minute. I don't know how well you can see that, but those are there. So hour, minute, okay? The numbers, you have 60, which is blue, is the minutes. The big numbers, the red ones, are the hours. Okay, blue's minutes, red hours. Okay, so if I had, for example, this time, it would be the hour 3, and because it is 60, this is called o'clock. So it would be 3 o'clock. Okay, if I had something like this, this would be, pointing at the 6, it would be 3, because I haven't made it all the way to the 4 yet, it'd be 3:30. Okay, notice the 30 at the bottom here. So there's a couple ways you can say it. You can say 3:30 or 3:30, because if you notice, if I take a ruler, I split all the way down this clock, okay, this is half, it is past half of the clock, it is 3:30, okay? That is why we call it that. So, looking at time, you need to, as I said, you need to be able to read a clock. If you cannot read a clock yet, just take a look at this one really quick right here. This one is available in the class if you'd like to use it. If we are at home and you are unable to use it, just make sure you ask the teacher and I can make you a separate how to read time video to go a little bit more in depth into how to use and read clocks. But right now we're going to get straight into the problems using time. So if the clock shows this time, okay, what time is it? I would look at this and I would say, okay, it is not yet at 5, which means it is 4. So it is 4 something. It is 4, okay, blue number. It's not at 45, it is at 46. So this is 4:46. And then hopefully it'll tell me which is AM or PM. Okay, PM is evening, AM is morning. But if it does tell you for PM, make sure that you're telling it's in the evening. It is PM. In the morning, it is AM. Okay, let's look at another one. I'm going to... There we go. This one. Okay, this is what? This is almost the same placement for hands, but the hands are now in different places. So this one, our hand, not at the 10 yet, so it is 9. This is 9, and we're going to say this is in the morning. So this is 9, and I have to look at where my minute hand is. Now, if I didn't have these lovely blue numbers here on the sides, I could just count in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. 9, 20. And because it is morning, it is AM. Okay? Those are examples of reading the clock in a little bit more of a complicated one than just o'clock and half. Okay, so if you are being asked to do the difference between 2 different times. So one of the questions they give you shows you 2 different times. It shows you this time. So 8 o'clock. Okay, and this is 8 AM, saying in the morning. So this is 8 o'clock. Hour hands at the 8, minute hands at the 12. It is 8 o'clock. Okay, so that's going to be our start. 8 AM. The second time it shows you is this one. Which is 9:45. Because again, not quite at the 10 yet, so it's still 9. 9, minute hand, 45. So the other one is 9:45, and it is also in the morning. Okay, now the clock is going to go away for a second. So we have 8 a.m. and 9:45 a.m. So there are a couple different ways we can do this. We can do it using our clock, and I can just count, and I can say, okay, the difference between this is I'm going to go back to 8 o'clock. Okay, I'm at 8 o'clock, and I can count until my fives until I get to 9:45. Now, I could do that. So, for example, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock is 1 hour. Okay, that is 1 hour right there. So I could write that over here, 1 hour. I now need to get to 9:45. So I would then count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And I'm now at 9:45, which was 45 minutes. So I have a difference of 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's one way to do this. The other way to do this is to do subtraction. Like so. Okay, this is the second way to do it. Now remember, your subtrahend needs to be your biggest number. That's why I chose the later time. So when we're looking with time, we go later. Okay, earlier, difference. Just like we're working with years, because your top number has to be your biggest number. Okay, so this was the later time, 9:45. I took 8 o'clock from 9:45, or 800 from 945, and I ended up with 145, or 1 hour and 45 minutes. Okay, both of those ways are perfectly good ways to do it. If you don't have a big clock and you don't want to count up from 8 o'clock to 9:45, subtraction is probably your easiest method. Just make sure you're placing your numbers correctly. The later time, the earlier time, and then that makes the difference. Okay, now I did this bit quite quickly. If you wanted a little bit more on subtraction and how to do that, you can go back to the math concepts videos. I was just doing that very quickly to show you how to do it. Okay, so when you're doing elapsed time problems, this is the method you are probably going to be using the most. Later time, earlier time, difference. As I said, if this makes you uncomfortable, you can always do it with the big clock in the classroom, a little clock you have at home. You could even draw yourself a little clock if need be. But either way, as long as you're getting the right answer, I don't mind which way you're doing it. So that is Elapsed Time Problems, Lesson 19 for Saxon 4.